Good morning, traders. Welcome to our trading room. For my YouTube viewers, this recording will be out for you on YouTube. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope it helps you with trading. If you're watching this for the first time, which means the very first time in your life you're clicking at one of my video, we use something called wave analysis, something I created, and it's all about looking at precise patterns that we have seen in the past, and how they behave there, and whether it's the same pattern and how it's going to behave here. There is always an 80% chance that the pattern repeats itself, which means what you saw in the past is what you're going to see in the future. I think I was talking to someone over the weekend, and a friend, just mutual friend, a Russian guy, and he's a business guy here with a family that came at the beginning of the war, and he's in business and a lot of different stuff. And he was like, we just chat. He find out what I'm doing. First time I'm meeting him. And he was curious, and I was telling him about the patterns. And we were at the beach, actually. We were at the beach. We took our kids to the beach. My son and his son is in the same class. So the kids make the arrangement, and we went to the beach together. And while we were talking about the waves, we were in the beach, literally in there, and like patterns and waves. And we're looking at it, and I'm saying you can see, right, when the wave is going to come, because there is a pattern to it. You can look way out, and you can see it coming really slow, and you can tell that as it reaches shore, it gets really huge, right? That same wave gets very aggressive as it comes to the shore. And as you go deeper, it's very calm. That's a strange thing. So how do you identify which is a big one? That's what surfers do, right? They can look into it and see that that is going to be a big wave coming, and they're ready for it when it comes. So they will skip one because they didn't think that was a big one. Are they going to every now and then miss a big one? That happens. The better you are a surfer, the better you are at identifying when a big wave is coming. So the idea is the same thing. Do we identify these patterns clearly? And does the pattern actually behave exactly how we wanted it to behave? Would it go that much that we think it's going to go? Or is it going to go exactly now? What if it doesn't go now? What if the wave doesn't get as big as you thought it would go? You get on it, you get off, you look for the next one, right? So the analogy is pretty clear. The idea is that the market doesn't move in a straight line. So can you identify within it if there is something that will give you an edge? That's all you need, something that will give you an edge. And then what you do with that is what makes you a good trader. It's not whether you can identify patterns or whether or not. It's what do you do with what you have that identifies you or isolates you as a good trader from the other traders. Because we have the same group of traders here. We have everybody having access to the same information, everybody reading the same charts, because it's only going one direction for all of us, either up or down. It's not going positive for me and negative for you, right? It's not going to go different for each one of us. So how do we take advantage of that is what will define how good a trader we are. Because you might see the best setup and you might get it 100% right, but you didn't take advantage of it. You couldn't click the trade for whatever reasons in your head is bothering you. And I don't care. There's a million reasons in your head which might tell you, I'm not sure about this trade. It might just break and go back up. There's a million different things that will stop you from doing it. And that's what different surfers at different level, right? He might look at it and said, well, that might not be a big one, and he doesn't go on it. And that turns out to be the best one, which makes him lose the competition. It's the same thing, right? So this is, you become a good trader by being able to identify it, implement your trade, and take advantage. What if you're on it, you're in it, you take it, but it doesn't go? How quick can you get out? How quick can you realize that this one is not going, I need to get the hell out of it and wait for the next setup? All of that is what will make you a good trader. It's not whether you know this stuff. It's your access to it and the ability to actually use it positively. So traders always ask me, oh, wave analysis doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. I've been doing it for a year and it's not. I'm like, what have you been doing for a year? What do you mean you've been using wave analysis for a year? It doesn't work for you. Like, what have you been doing? Show me. And I get into their account and we start looking at what they do. And there's nothing there. There's nothing there that says he's been using wave analysis. Like, absolutely nothing. Because I've looked at hundreds, if not thousands of accounts. You believe you're doing something, but you might not be doing it the right way. You might not be even doing that. Right? That's what differentiates good players from, average players and people who can't even play, or people who can just do anything. In anything, in any category of profession you look at, sports, I don't know, finance, anywhere, people will differ because of their different skill levels, their ability to do things differently. So don't think that if somebody is doing it this great, you can do it, or somebody is struggling means you can't do it. You might be the best trader in the world or the worst trader in the world, having the same access of information to all the other traders who are good, bad, or, can do it. You might just be unfortunate in picking the wrong trade. That's it. Everybody in the same room, three people sell euro on one. They said, well, I'm just going to sell the pound. The euro dropped crazily and the pound never went. Not that nothing happens wrong. You pick the right setup, everything, but the pound moved 5 pips. Your fault? No. So when people ask me, and a lot of traders like to ask me, can I be successful using wave analysis? I'm like, well, it all depends on you. It's always going to depend on you individually. Success is always individual. There is nothing like a group success. But group learning, group training, group playing is always there. The success is individual. For every person is going to be individual. But there's a reason you have teams playing, not individual one person playing football against another person, or volleyball or any other thing. There's a reason people trade in groups, because it's always better. And there's a reason you can trade in groups is always better. There's always someone there to help you, and there's always someone there who is going to do something for you, or going to show you something that you didn't see, or going to tell you, hey, why don't you do this? Or why don't we look at it this way? Not because you can't look at it the right way, but because you didn't look at it that way. It's that simple. That's it. Let's move on. So I hope that answered the questions. So I got the questions I have over the weekend is like, hey, can I become successful using wave analysis? And the analogy is very clear for you, right? That said, let's move on. Dollar index. So we're looking at a dollar index. And if you remember what I said, this could be a correction for one more, right? We look at the possibility that this could make a similar one like to that. So we had this sharp one and we were thinking, would this be sharp? Well, this is not exactly sharp, right? Now, sometimes they don't exactly have to be sharp. It depends on whether we can look at this as more corrective than this one. And is it going to drop one more before it goes back up? Who says it can drop through the bottom and this is all a correction? This is just a slow move down. That is possible as well. So we're going to always look at it and say, what is the next move happening, right? We were trading inside of this all the time. All week we were trading inside of that. And nothing is wrong with that. You can get good trades. The patterns we identify for the up and the down, I think they work perfectly. So the question is, did anybody manage to get any trade on them? We'll see. I wasn't in the room Friday, but my traders were there, and I think they did excellent, right? So we were looking for this move to be equivalent to this. So when it was at the bottom here, started to go up, we're thinking it would get to this top. I mean, whether we were right or wrong, it got to the top, right? Now, did you manage to get anything going up there? That's the question, right? It's not whether we got it right. It's did you manage to get anything? So here's my thought process. I'll take this one. I have a very strong feeling this one is going to drop. And we came in the room this morning and my trader said, wait a second, maybe this one is not going to drop. Maybe this could still go back up. And I went, look at it and I said, yeah, you're actually right. There is a possibility that we go back up and this flat is actually this one, right? I'm not going to go into the details. There are many reasons and many things we look for. But basically that they do have a point. This could come back here. And who says when it comes here, it doesn't just take off? So let's say you're exposed to that amount of information that, you know what, there is a possibility this thing could go. And this would be all the correction. Or there is a possibility it just consolidates here and drop. And if you're a very, very naive trader who is just learning to trade, you may say, oh, look what he's saying. He's saying it's going to go up and it's going to go down. He doesn't have a clue what he's doing. So if you're at that level, my advice to you is stop trading live and go learn. Like really go learn a lot more. You need to learn, because if that's your thought process when I showed you that, it means you're so shallow in your thinking that you really wouldn't succeed in trading because you have no clue. So let me explain what we will do now. Now that we have that information, right? That's just information. That's just analysis. You have to make sure that the analysis is going to work in your favor. So you will wait for its setups, which will prove that you're one out of that direction is right. So what would be the sell setup? As of now, we are having a sell setup. This is what I call a sell setup. So we actually have a sell setup. If I have to put this, if I have to put this something, I would say look for a sell. I'll change this from a buy to look for a sell. Thursday, we were looking for that buy. Friday, I wasn't in the room, right? Friday was the sell. So I would put look for a sell on my chart. Let me take all of this out. These are directions we normally go with. So I'm just going to take them out because the stats since Thursday, they're all probably moved already. So as of today, I will put, we're looking for a sell setup. What would the sell setup look like? Let's go into 15 minutes and see. So internally, I can see that you've got an impulse up and we are kind of consolidating in this range. That's okay. I would like this to go back up there. Now, I would never buy it here. And I can repeat that again. I would never buy it there. Even if I think it's coming here and it's probably going to go to heaven, I'm not buying it there. What I would do is I'll put it like this and put an entry order to sell here. Now, if it is going to continue to go up, at some point it will start to consolidate above this level, which is above the last impulse. Any consolidation there becomes a buy. So that's the confirmation for upside. It comes here and instead of dropping, it goes here and consolidates. That's a buy setup. We start thinking, okay, we have to buy it now because that means it can go much more up. What would be the sell setup? It's pretty easy. Once it breaks the stop, it's just going to do this and drop. And I'm in the sell. Now, when do you put the entry order for the sell? As it stands right now, I don't think it's a complete flat. And I think this is going to go back up because we kind of tagged the stop here. See, we tagged the top there, but this is more like a 1, 2, 3. And this didn't go up. So I will go to 1, 2, 3 with this one being it. It could be more complex than that. It might even come here, come back here, do this, come back here, and then go. Again, it's still not a buy here. If we get a buy setup from the bottom here, I don't want to make it very technical for you guys, but if we get a buy setup in here to go up, some of my traders may take it, and we will consider that buy, depending on how big this is. We might consider, especially if we think we can get out here for break even. Then yes, you might consider it. Otherwise, so that you're going for a sell. So I would wait for this to go back to the top. And it's not always you get two direction. There are times when one direction is pretty clear. And that's the only direction. So I would wait for it to go back to the top. And once it breaks that top, any sell setup I get, I'll take. Now, not necessarily I'll sell it here or I'll sell it here. As of now, if I have to put an entry order, it's going to be here. Which means that if this drops to the bottom, I want the trade right now, and we'll just go with this as a contracting flat. But if this is to go break the top, I want a sell setup somewhere here. And that becomes a better trade because by the time it breaks the low, you can get it to break even. See? So how good are you at implementing that? How good are you at understanding the patterns, whether there's more pieces to it? As this develops, we will see whether there are more pieces to it, right? Because if this becomes really, really corrective, then I'm pretty sure this is not going to drop because it's all inside of this. We will be looking for this to probably come back here, go back up there, and then there's a lot more to it that might happen. But if you have to make a decision right now, which direction you think is likely going to go, I would put an entry order under the low. I would immediately go and put an entry order under the low and said, well, the only direction I'll be interested in this now is if it drops. Sorry, where is this thing? Oh, it's here. Yeah. The only direction I'm interested in this is if it drops, not this bite to the upside. See? Because if it dropped, the trade that I'll be looking for is to come to break this low and then break through the entire structure, right? Break this low here, break through the structure, and either reverse to go back up or start consolidating it from more downside. See? That's analysis. Now, would you be able to make a trade? I don't know. Remember, today is bank holiday in the UK and bank holiday in the US. So US will probably be zero trading in the New York session. The London session will be probably moving a little if some European banks will work, but that's about it. Tomorrow will be most of the trading. Asian session will work a little, that's it. So silver, pretty easy. These were sell setups in silver coming down. You can see that, and that was Thursday. These were sell setups because we thought this thing could totally drop. Now, that doesn't mean it wouldn't stop and consolidate. So if you ask me, remember I just put a sell on the US dollar. If you ask me what I'm looking for in silver, absolutely a sell. I'm not going to try to sell it here, but try to sell it from the top coming down if I can. So why would silver be a sell and US dollar be a sell? You never seen that happen? Again, if you've never seen that happen, you pretty much need to learn a lot more about trading. Now, I am not saying that is what will happen. Maybe the US dollar goes up and go up a lot more to the top. Remember I said there's that possibility. We just don't have a setup. We do have a sell setup here. This is a sell setup at its time. Can this actually go back to the top here? Well, that would be easy. I just told you what we'll expect in the US dollar. Break this top and consolidate. If we get that, we are buying it to come back here. I don't know that it will go there, but we will buy it to go back there. Remember, these were very sharp pull back to the top. At that point in time, if you'd ask me what I think we will come here and go up. But when it started to come down, we were trying to get trading it to break that low. And then it broke the low, made this. I wasn't here Friday, but I hope some traders got some trades there. And then pretty much it started to consolidate. I'm still looking at this as a consolidation for downside. So what would be the trade setup? If it's a flag, it's a buy. Right now, it's a flag. As you can see, this is a buy setup. This would have been a buy setup. You can still buy this. You don't know how far it's going to go. But what if it breaks it up and come back? Well, that's where your trade management strategy comes in. When to exit, how to exit. Because as it stands on the 1 hour, it's actually downside. Now, there isn't a sell setup. A sell setup could come. What if this drops? That's a drop here and make a flag. And then, yes, that will absolutely be a sell. So if I get a sell setup, I'm 100% taking the trade. But if I get a buy setup, I can consider whether I want to take it or not. Because remember, it can still break the top and come back. But a buy setup, if you get it, why not? There's still a possibility for upside. So this one right now, we just wait. You can put a sell here, but you wait for it. Gold. Gold is an easier one. I think this is more of a sell setup. You can see that was a sell on Thursday. And I don't have to tell you about these, right? These are a no-brainer. Now, here's the thing. Most time we were selling gold and silver simply because this didn't go back to the top. So most of the selling, this you can see how it dropped. I dropped quite a lot. So we're almost back at the bottom here. We broke the top. And this is significant. That is why the sells are so important. Now, this is a sell setup. Now, can it get bigger than that? I think yes. I think this could actually get much bigger before it comes, right? Because this move is pretty big. So you end up getting something like this. See, when you get a move that size, you end up getting a much deeper correction. Now, can it drop, break the low, and then start a deeper one? That's a possibility. That's a sell we will take. So you can come in here, and if you get a sell set up here, which I think we might be getting, you could actually take this trade to break the low or to come back to this level. And if we think that is a flat for upside, well, you still have a trade here. All right, when you're trading inside the correction, you have to look at that. Now, this is relatively sharp. Both of these are sharp. So this could be the end of the structure, and this could be dropping. So the sell is a good idea here, and you can get this. What if you put an entry order to sell here, but instead of coming down, it actually does this? Your life just became easy. Wait for it to come back here, take off this, wait for this flat, and then buy. Now, remember I said this correction could get much bigger. So I don't think it's going to drop today, especially with the US session closing. We'll probably still stay in that consolidation, and we could be in this consolidation all week. That doesn't mean you can't trade, right? You could trade a lot up and down. Euro. Okay, euro, yeah. So these were the forecasts I made on Thursday because I couldn't come in Friday. By the way, thank you, Johan, and thanks to all the guys with your help. My daughter was sick on Friday, so I couldn't come in. And we have a very supportive group. We're always here for each other. So the guys were there. They kept the room going. And that's the great thing about this trading room. People always ask me, what's the best thing about your trading room, especially new traders who want to come. I said the best thing is the people in the room. It's not the room. The room is not a room if you don't have great people inside, right? It's the best thing with the people in the room. I can don't be here for a week and don't worry. The room is still working. They will go, they will open it, and any trader can open it and they will trade, and I'm pretty sure they'll do well. They're very good at doing that. My presence is only a guide. That's the only reason I'm here. To guide them and morally keep it going and to help new traders like all the senior traders are doing, helping new traders become successful. So that said, let's go. So this one it dropped and we were expecting it to go back. This was a Thursday forecast. Nothing changed. I didn't move a single thing from Thursday. Wave analysis work? You guess. I don't have to guess it. Now, I think this is a clear pattern we were expecting to go up. So if we get a buy setup here, we're absolutely going to take the trade. Now, we just realized that this could probably go one more down. I don't think this one can. This one is very sharp. There isn't any in here that is as sharp as that. So the probability of this going up is pretty high, which means dollar index can fall. All right, remember dollar index is part of all these. It's not like a currency. It's created by how the movement of the euro and all of these, right? So if the euro goes up, dollar index goes down. Euro is the biggest part of it, right? What creates the index? So it's the direction of the euro that influences how the index move, right? So this looks upside to me. Can it come down back? Yeah, but there's less possibility for that. There's more probability it's going to go up. Look for a buy setup. Do we have a good setup here? Not as yet. Right, not as yet. I see this consolidating in this range. We did break the low here, but that would probably be for some kind of a running flat in here. So let it come back here and then try to get this to the upside. Now, since market are close today, I don't know if it's going to break out today, but we look for the buy setup. So I'll put this looking for a buy setup. Pound. Same thing. No big difference, right? This actually made a flat. And remember, I showed you this where they could come sometime, break the low, and then go back up. Buy setup. Now, this one, once it gets to the top there, As you can see, we already have it as coming back because we do have this very, very sharp one here. And there's a very good chance that you could get now. It might also be part of this one, which means we can look at it like that. And in that case, if this drop, it is going to drop through the bottom. So if I'm wrong, it's a better trade than if I'm right. If I'm right, it's only a trade to come here. If you get that trade from there to come here, that will be it. But if I'm wrong, then it's a really big trade to the downside. On the big picture, this is where we are. Can we go break this top? We can, but there's no reason. I don't think we should. I don't see any reason why we should do that. Now, even going back so high into this one wasn't something, because I'm not looking at this as a contracting flat as yet. I was not thinking that's a contracting flat for this to take off. Although that possibility exists. The only thing we'd be looking for is whether we're making a bigger flat here, because I don't see this belonging to anything in here. So there's a good chance it could probably come here, come back to the bottom, go back to the top, making this a bigger flat, and then come down. Right? Because this is going flat. It's going sideways to come back down eventually. So go back to the top here. What's the trade for the trade? Is the first trade you're going to be looking for is a buy setup to break the top. And I think that could happen. I think we could make a trade to the upside. Let's see if we have the setup. We don't have anything for that. Still going sideways. Right? You're kind of still going in this one. So you get a 1, 2, 3, you get a 1, 2, 3, you go back there, maybe come break the low, and then go up. So you get 1, 2, 3, you come back here, and then you go. I think we will be looking for a buy setup. It's pretty easy. Aussie. I think that was a good sell. It dropped, it went back. I think the equivalent of this downside is the equivalent of this one. If you want to where that arrow came from, it came from here. Right? So I picked the top here, and now we decide, let's see if it goes. It did go to the bottom here. Now the question is it going up? I think, yeah. This sell was good. Friday would have been a buy. This would have been a buy. There's probably a buy on the break of this. There's a small channel there. You could actually be in this buy. If you're not in it, you can put an entry order there. This actually is an active trade. You're not waiting for a setup. This is a buy. If you took the trade earlier, you can close and re-enter. It's already 5 or 4 hours. So by all means, take break even and put an entry above the top. If it repeats the same thing, take it off and just leave it alone. But this, if it goes now, it's going to probably try to break the top. So let's see how far it goes. We're breaking out of the structure, so one more up is not a problem. I don't see any reason why they can't break that up. New Zealand. New Zealand is downside. It's not even going to break out. Remember, New Zealand broke the top. Aussie didn't. New Zealand broke the top, came down. 1, 2, I think we're coming back here and going back there. This one is more corrective than this. Try to look for a sell from the top coming. So see that line there? That is this morning. I put this one because when I opened my computer, that's the first thing I saw. I was like, okay, break the top and then let's look for the sell. So you want this to actually go break the top and then start looking for this drop. It might be just this because this is relatively sharp, right? And then go back up and then drop again. This could become a big flat for upside. It doesn't necessarily mean downside totally. Remember, New Zealand broke out and is consolidating at the top for upside. Right? We broke out of this structure, that whole down structure totally. And this, they made a flat there, which we tried to buy Friday. I hope that Thursday, that didn't go very far. It came back. I mean, you got out for positive, but then it's consolidating here, which means that it's just making, this is the up move, and it's just making a deeper consolidation, bigger consolidation. So when it break that top, come here, they'll probably even go back up one more because this would be the flat and then come back here. So you've got this one here now, and then that is still upside. We're still looking upside, and I think we'll go to this top. So we can, today, tomorrow, we are trading in this range here, and whatever the range is here, we'll trade it. And then there's a good chance of going up there. I don't think we're coming back now. I don't see any reason why it should. I don't see any setup that says it's coming down. It's making a flat here, that just a big flat for upside. So let's see how deep this go. When it pull back and go back up, we'll see, because I think they're making a running flat there. This might come here, make a running flat, make this one. This is sharp. Go back up, right? It depends on how high this goes, and then come back here and then up. So let's get this trade today. We're looking for a sell setup. New Zealand, this one has a buy, and we're waiting for a sell setup. This is going to go up, but we're not buying it. This is going to go up a little, but we're not buying this. We're waiting for a sell setup. Let it break the top and then sell. Right? I think let it break. It might not break the top too. If it comes down from here, it will come and break this low. right? So if this is the B part, if we take this as the B part, what if it doesn't break the top? Comes here, give you a flag, sell it because it's going to come break this low. So it will be like this, then go back up and come down. But I think they'll break the top because Aussie does look upside. Got it? I think this was easy. The channel actually worked. It went a little higher, but that didn't change anything. Came right back in, and it's coming down. Now, the most corrective part is this one. So if it's a running flat, this becomes the core correction. One down, one up, one down, one up. If it's not a core correction, then do I think this is going to drop through? Nope, it will become a channel. They'll probably still do this. So we had one of that. For those of you who've never seen it, just look across here. We did that before. We're just repeating the same thing here before we go down, right? So when we were at the bottom here, we thought it will go very sharp to the top, and it ended up going like that. And the top, we thought it will come sharp to the bottom like this, and it's pretty much doing the same thing, but eventually it will come here. So when that completes itself, what are we looking for? Look, we've got forecasts for like a whole year here, maybe 5 years ahead, right? So far, they're working good. Just like this one was going to go to the top here, right? But then it stopped sharp. So now we decide this is not going. It did go up, but not there. It's going very corrective. So this correction should come back here and then go, right? This one is similar to this, the type of movement. I don't think we'll have that sharp move up, but we will get a move up once this come back to the bottom. So we want this to come back here and then go. Let's see if that happens. Can it just come here and then take off? I don't see this piece as being part of this correction. See that? If we can fit it into there, then that is possible. I don't see it in there. For some reason, it's just not fitting for me. I think this piece is fitting pretty good as it stands, as a separate one. So impulse and a separate flag. But we'll see. The downside here is very likely first, right? If there's a change in the pattern, we'll come and see again. So wait for a sell setup here. Let's see if we have a sell setup. Okay, so it's coming down, which means can we make an assumption that this was all the correction? Might be a little too early for that because this is still within this correction here. Let it come a little more and then we'll see that. And it's pretty sharp. So I don't think it's all the correction. I think we're still in the correction. We'll still stay here for a while. This would be just the first part of the correction. This probably is going to, correct, and then go back up, give us a flat and then drop. So you can look for that. What is the range here from here to here? 14 pips. Don't leave it alone. Right? So let it consolidate here, and then we look for a sell setup. So we're looking for a sell setup after the consolidation. Swiss has a buy setup. See, everything is a little confusing, right? Because Swiss has a buy setup. That is a buy setup. And we're still in this massive consolidation here for upside, right? We're still in this for upside. So you can literally put a buy setup here, and it might be a break even. I think we took a few trades here and they're all break even. So you might get, depending on how far this goes, you might pull a few pips out of it, but most likely kind of a break even trade. So you can go with a buy setup here because we have a buy setup. That's a buy, an active buy. Yen, it's coming down, but we're still within this flat. This was a nice breakout there, but now it's, I think, deeper correction. I don't see the downside. There's a small sell setup here. Depends on how aggressive you want to get with the yen. But we did break this top, so I think we pretty much should go down. What I don't like is that deep pullback and the way it's going. It's not dropping, it's going really slow. So if you're going to sell these, you have to sell them with a lot of patience, which means the management, don't close it after 3, but wait, hold on a little longer, but move your stop really tight. Because if they keep dropping slowly, eventually they're going to make it sideways and drop fast. There's a sell setup on it if you want to trade. Euro New Zealand. Yep, this one should have gone. Thursday it was here, Friday the trade should have been from here. Right, from the last impulse. So basically, if you close and re-enter, well, wait for a flag and sell. So, come on, wrong one. I'm trying to move this, yeah. By the way, we have this sharp move up, see? So I don't think it's going to break out today. We're still inside. This is a 1, 2, 3 inside of this. So there's a good chance, don't sell it. It's going to come here and go back up there, make a flat, and then we get a sell. We might even buy it before we sell it because the up move would be an easier one to buy. So I wouldn't go into the sell there. I think it's coming down. We're going down big time, but there's a big flat forming there. See, we're expecting this to come here, but like most of these times, see them make some really huge flats here. This one is going to be a big flat and then downside. So you might first get a buy setup and then a sell setup. Within the day trade, you can go for both of them. Right? Let it come down some more and then wait to break this low, then look for the buy setup. So the first trade you're looking for is a buy setup, which will be the equivalent of this. And then we can look for the sell setup. Okay, for the YouTubers, if you would like to see more of this, all these analysis, join us live. If you want to know to join us live, you can join either as a full member or you can join as an installment trader, which means we'll still give you live access. Send me a Skype message. The Skype is in the description of every of my video. So click on any of my video, look at the description. At the very top is the Skype. You can send me a Skype message. That's the only place you get me. If you get a message from anywhere else telling you I'm soliciting money from you or I am selling you anything else or all those crap you might get from scammers, not me. Because I've never sent anyone, and I'm going to clear this very clear, I've never made the first initiative of sending anyone a message telling them to join my group or they have a special promotion or you're going to get something free or you're going to never. If we're doing any promotion, it's always advertised on YouTube, which means I tell people, hey, this is what I will do. I don't send personal messages to people. I don't believe we should be bothering you when you're enjoying your life. So the only, and I don't use any other thing except Skype. So not from Facebook. If you send me a message there, I might answer you. I don't use anything else. And Telegram and all those Telegram groups that are using my picture to send you messages, sorry, not me. Don't pay them anything. Don't send them anything. Send me a message on Skype. If you're not sure if it's me, send me a message on Skype and said, hey, I received a Telegram message from you. Is it you? The answer is no. Right? So that's it. Send me a message if you'd like to join. You will get access to all of this. I'm going to show you some of these and some cryptos, and then we'll close the YouTube one and we'll continue in our group trading. Right? So natural gas went up. I think this was the news when they buy, because if the only reason it will be so far from the top of this is the news, and I was pretty sure we took it off because the news only brought it to this level, right? It didn't break out. But even if it break out, pretty much you close it there, you close it there, you close it there, right? So the news is only 1 minute, so that would have been out of the trade. But that was a good buy if it wasn't the news. And now it's coming down. Let's see where we are in the big picture. That looks like a lot more downside to go. Yeah, we're way at the bottom here, so I wouldn't be surprised if they retest the low. That's just a deep pullback. Look for sell setups. There is nothing, no reason why this is going to drop unless we're making a big flat here, but every sell setup you get taken. So it's easy, look for sell setups. US oil, I think we're looking for this to drop in a sell. It's going back up, so I don't know if we're going to still be in this. This looks very corrective. It doesn't look like the impulse to the downside. So if you get a buy setup here, and I think you will get a buy setup, it's worth taking it to see if they come back there. Could this be the low and we are going up? Because you do have 1, 2, 3. They came down very low. Should it go back up? Let's see in the bigger picture. 4 hours. There's no need to, but yeah, it can go back up. It can make a bigger correction too. There's no need to make a bigger correction, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do. I don't think this by itself is making a bigger correction. If this is making a bigger correction and this becomes the core correction, we actually go back up there, come back here, go back there, and then drop. So the buy is a good idea. Look for a buy setup. Here's 30. Yep, that was a sell. This was a sell here, this was a sell, and there's another sell setup here. Look for sell setups. It's not active. I don't think it's active as yet. Let me see. Actually, why not? You already had this flat here. We broke out of that. We're making a flag here. So you can put an active sell under it. That can be an active sell. We didn't have anything on this one. I think I can't remember it was Thursday, but this is going up, which means this is consolidating. It's not a sell setup as yet. Also not a buy. This one kind of came down, go back up. Do we have anything as sharp as that to go with in the past? Nope. So that would probably be something in the future. So this here could still be sell, but it might just drop here and kind of go back up, make a flat there, and then go back up. So it all depends on how deep it goes and where it goes. It's a sell setup, but not a very aggressive sell. Okay, this is going back up now. We're expecting this to go one more up because it dropped quite a lot, right? But they were pulling back a lot here, which means I wouldn't be surprised if we go break that top. Let's go into 4 hours, see what we're looking for. Yeah, we're expecting it to come and break this top. So probably is going to do that. Let's go to the 1 hour, see if we have a buy setup. Yeah, look for a flag here and buy. You need this to consolidate some more. And then we can go for that trade. So if you get the consolidation, go look for a buy setup. Okay, this one dropped pretty low. We were looking for it to break out of that. It didn't break out. It actually came here and dropped. What would be the sell setup? Nope, I would not get a sell setup. There was a running flat, but I wouldn't sell it as a running flat until it breaks the low. Right? Maybe when it breaks the low there, then you can see that possibly for a running flat. Came back pretty deep, look for a buy setup. Wait for this to consolidate and go with a buy. There's a good chance this is just a deep pullback for upside. It didn't structurally change it. Now, what if this is a running flat? What if this is a leading diagonal? Sorry. If it's a leading diagonal, then this is going to come down here, go back there, make this, and then downside. Right? The leading diagonal would mean something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think this would work as a 3, so I don't think it's a lead. I think this is a running flat in the middle there. You have this as a correction, so you get 1, 2, 3. You get 1, 2, 3. That's a bigger flat, so you get 1 down, 1 down. Can it make a bigger flat here and drop? Possible. If it becomes a flag, buy it. So flag, buy, flat, sell. Can we sell this for a flat? Not as yet. If this is going to be the B part of it and it starts to consolidate here and you want to sell this, it could probably drop like this. Go back up there, make a flat, and then drop. So if you see sell set up here and it starts to come down, consider this as the B part of it. You can go for the sell. But if it goes back to the top, which means if it crawls back to the top here, then just wait for it to pull back, and that's a buy. Pretty easy, right? Let's see which one comes. I think both sides possible. I'll take it off. Same here. Go to the top, drop, go back up. So you got 1, 2, 3, you got 1, 2, 3. This is a buy setup. This is easily a buy setup. See, we've got this, we've got that, we've got this. This should go up. Good. It will probably break the top. Go for the buy. This is easily a buy. It's an active buy. You can put the trade on here. Okay, let's go to some cryptos. Bitcoin. Yep, I think we left it that as a sell. It came here, it's pulling back. So you can go on the 4 hours. Here's the thing. It's either they're trying to break out of this, right? They're trying to break out because you can go with 1, 2, 3, or it's eventually will make a bigger correction, which means come back all the way to the bottom. In terms of the trade setup, keep an entry above the top at any time, because if it takes off, it could take off really sharp like a rocket, or you can trade inside of this range. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go out, especially if this comes down a little more here. It comes here, we will get a flat, and then it's downside. But even if it stays here, it might just break to the top there and then come back. So you can buy it, but you have to know the possibilities of where it can go, so you will know how to manage your trade. If it comes down, you probably wouldn't sell it. There's no need to sell it. But if it comes here, then yes, let it go back up. And then this sell becomes a good one, because just like this, right? 1, 2, 3, it goes up. That sell becomes a good one and drop much lower. So which is it? We'll see. In time, you will know whether this come down for a sell or it's consolidating here for a buy. ETH. Okay, starting to look like we're going up more. Definitely this piece is consolidating for more upside, probably pull back here and you get a flat, and that will definitely give you one more. Now, the lowest point in this is this one, so let me take this out. The lowest point is this. So what if this here was a correction? Drop here, and this is just a very deep correction for upside. In that case, we'll assume that this here was all a correction. Right, this. Finished here, this is the deep pullback and it's going. Wait for a complete pattern there, a complete flat for a buy. And we don't have a complete flat. So that means that this needs to come back here and then go. So if it pulls back, you get a buy setup. Look for a buy setup. XRP. I think this is easy. It's more of a sell. You can input it like this. It's not a buy setup as yet. Looks more like it's going to drop. ADA. Think this is easy. You're getting this flat here, but it's probably going to come here, go back up, drop. And this could totally drop to the bottom. If this comes here, we might still go back up. So you're going to look at 1, 2, 3 within this flat. So I'm just going to put 2 lines to tell you the range we're trading in. And the range is this. All right, that's the range we're trading in. So this is the first impulse, this is the second impulse, and I think this might be the flat. So this one comes here, go back there, give you this flat, drop here, go back up there, and then it's downside. If that happens, it's confirming downside for us. So look for a sell setup here. Not now, because this sharp one will still have to happen, most likely. You have a sell setup here, but there's a good chance it will just come here and go back up there, like this. So you wait for this to happen, and then you can put an entry here to see if you get this drop. Again, you don't want that. Let it drop here first, and then look for the buy setup. You can get a buy setup from here. That's a better trade. So, okay, guys, if you want all of these, and we cover all of these, and sometimes we do more because traders or traders in the group trade different pairs. Sometimes they find something new. If you go to the bottom, you'll see all of these are traded. All of this, we don't do them in the daily analysis, but all of these are trades that our traders make on these things. Some people trade soybeans, different things, right? It's an individual thing, but we still look at them for the traders. If you're in the group and you ask us to look at a chart, we look at it. Basically, that's it. That said, have a great week ahead of you. Trade with care. Remember, today could be quiet. Trade with care. And if you really would like to join and see what we do, send me a message on Skype. Thank you very much. Have a great week ahead of you. Bye.